Hello there, Qckslvrslash here, and today we have a video from Monkey D. Luffy in the Tier 7 Japanese destroyer, the Shiratsuyu. And this thing is a little beast. Anyone who's sailed it or come across it knows it, and it really comes down to that torpedo reload. Being able to fire 16 torpedoes about 7 seconds apart by the time you've clicked the button really creates a mess. And you know, that puts it right there with something like the Shimakaze and its wall of torpedoes. And I think a lot of people end up hating this ship because of that. Just because at times it can seem unfair, but it's not a skill you always have, and some good sailing, you can normally avoid it. That said, if you're a little careless or just not paying attention to where some destroyers may be on the map, you'll find yourself with nowhere to go and nothing but a wall of skill coming your way. And, I mean, everyone knows that nickname by now, and there's the people out there who just hate torps. And if you think they're bad from destroyers, can you imagine if they added subs to the game? And even if they forced the submarines to surface to fire the torpedoes, it would be mayhem. And I think that's one of the reasons they're not here. Subs also just wouldn't serve a purpose. You've already got your low detectability stealth thing that fires torpedoes. You don't need another. So off the bat, Monkey was getting a little close, and a Sims who was pushing in manages to spot him. And normally that's kind of the end of any torpedo run, because once you're detected, you have to assume that the enemy knows where you are and where torpedoes could be coming from. Now that Nagato and Gneisenau, they probably know that Monkey was outside of effective range, nothing he could do. So they're not turning, and this Gneisenau to the north, well, he's finding himself pretty much alone. And ships that are alone are what you want to prey on in a destroyer. There's times as you get into the later tiers and have the longer ranges, that just finding groups of ships is really what you want. But I find if you can get yourself a ship who's all alone, it makes it really easy for you to get into that effective firing range. Now this set of torps, Karl Trop was targeted, but I really think they were actually at Varus. And you can see the second time after he's hit that reload, well, that's who he's targeting, and it's just annoying that there's that targeting glitch with the replay system, because it would be really nice to see, you know, who certain things are actually aimed at. Now Varus is turning away, and unfortunately that means this first volley is probably all but going to miss. And you kind of have to make up your mind. Do you throw a second set at Varus, or do you go for Karl? And personally in this situation, I would probably go for Karl. Now you can see Monkey hops onto those peats just to see what they're doing, and well, not a lot. They all look like they're going to miss by a good chunk, and you don't really know what Varus is doing out there. Karl, on the other hand, has run himself into the border edge, and that really means he's got nowhere to go. He can still turn, but at just under 7 kilometers away, this is an easier shot to make. And this is why I like finding ships that are alone when I'm in a destroyer, is you know you can get up close and really skirt the edge of your detectability before firing to maximize your opportunity. Now once again, I think targeting was off. I think these were at Karl, but with Varus and Karl sailing towards another, maybe they're at both of them. You know, they could really create a situation where they block each other from being able to dodge any of these. Now, even when you don't have the torpedo cooldown, these torps reload pretty quick, already down to 1 minute till the next one, and almost like I said, they both could have eaten those, except Karl blocked them all. And I guess that works out for Varus, but works out for Monkey as well. He gets 27,000 damage, continuing to go up. Really? Karl's flooding and he hasn't repaired it? And I wasn't watching earlier. Maybe Carl got hit and was burned, but I don't know why he would have put a single fire out or repaired a single broken module. You know there's destroyers near. They were all detected, and Carl's messed that up. Now he's burning to the first volley from the Shiratsuyu, lighting him up like a torch. And sadly, that ship really just threw a match away. And it was whatever he did that meant he had no damage control that really screwed him in the situation. And just like that, Monkey's got his first kill. And the torpedoes are ready all again. They've got Varus in the Gnesi coming around this island. The Sims is spotted again. You have a Nagato who's in range, so who do you fire the torpedoes at? And that's a tough question. I personally would go for the other Nessie. And simply because he's there. He's coming around this island close, and you can see that's what Monkey wants to do, but this Nicholas who's sharing the smoke kind of in his way. And maybe this should be a PSA for anyone who's sharing smoke. Make sure you keep out of whoever it kind of belongs to's way. You know, if a destroyer's laid down a smoke, don't block his shots, or if it's a cruiser, whether it be something like the Kutuzov or any of the British cruisers, if they put that smoke down, you know, you can go in there, but don't hog all the space. And whoa, Kamikaze are right there. No need to look at those PEDs. One hit, and unfortunately it only was one. But there's a lot happening here, and he's already got his reload again, so he can hit it, and he does. Now, some would say that's a waste because the torps were half loaded. I don't think so. It gets him the torpedoes he needs to kill this Nessie. And sadly, not in time. The Gneisenau now nailing that Nagato with a number of PEDs, but he does get the kill and is up to 80,000 damage. 7.5 minutes in, 80k, that's a respectable start to this match. And it was two battleships who basically ate his volleys. Now what I find kind of interesting is everyone seems to have come up to the north here. Like there's no destroyers hanging around the center of the map. There's not even a lot down at the south side of the map. You can see 3 ships have sunk down there, but beyond that, not much going on. And at this point, it's all about picking targets. There are so many ships right now to fire torps at, and they're all close. Even this Nagato, 7.3k, should be easy enough. And the Nagato has been pretty much sailing in a straight line this whole time, so the decision to aim pretty much right on that lead indicator, I think will come back as a big positive. And when you're sailing a destroyer, that's what you have to do, is you've got to watch ships, how they're behaving, to really figure out which ones are worth, you know, using your torps on, and which ones maybe you should defer until later just because they are maneuvering a lot. They're an active player. But having seen this Nagato since the start, he's kind of just been slowly sailing in a straight line around the map, and he eats damage. And just like that, Monkey picks up his 3rd kill, almost 100,000 damage, and there's more. He's got another torpedo volley reloaded, or not whole volley, but 1 set of tubes that he last used to kill a Gneisenau, and, well, maybe now that they're reloaded, they can kill another Gneisenau. And I just ask myself what's going on sometimes when you see ships continuously sail past edges of land. They know there's a destroyer behind. Like, at this point, there should be no secret that Monkey's here and knows how to use his torps. Now the Gneisenau has slown up. That's fine. I believe that set was aimed at Miyoko, and, well, there goes a Miyoko. And sometimes it's too easy. Once again, Gneisenau stuck there. Like 40 seconds have passed, the set's ready, and you saw there, the Gneisenau was slowing down, but the 1 tick showed that he was starting to speed up again. So Monkey fires them ahead of the lead indicator to try to, you know, head off Felicio Gums, And he does. 2 more Peds. He's up to 160,000 damage, 4 kills. I think the Kraken is going to be coming shortly because looks like those fires and floods have all stuck. Unfortunately, it's the Nicholas's fire that gets it. So there's 3 ships left. He really, you know, kind of at this point, you want that kill. You want the Kraken. 167,000 damage, 4 kills. You got to round it off. 5 is a much better number. And just to get the medal that sometimes can be pretty elusive and other times just seems to come to you like a gift. A stray plane from something left overhead. Probably the Miyoko or Gneisenau. Hard to say though. Hopefully Monkey's AA guns can shoot it down. It's always annoying when there's just one of these stray planes detecting you, giving away your ultra secret intentions, which, I mean, never really that secret. You can read a map and predict where destroyers are going. Now, you're not always right, but you can guess at least. So just 3 ships remaining. 1 is almost done. That Sim's on a hair's health left, and a Colorado who is pretty beat up himself. And yeah, that's who you gotta shoot at. The Sims is spotted. He's on next to no health. 1 shell finishes him off. Just go for the hit. Get rid of a destroyer. And those were so close, washing the decks of that ship, but he can't connect. Fires again, blind. No luck there either. So back to the Colorado. And right now, a fire would be amazing because that Colorado's probably going to disappear into the smoke if the Sims is half decent and actually laid it for him. But it doesn't look like it. And the enemies are running out. There's just a Sims and the Kamikaze R who hasn't been spotted in a while. But the Kamikaze is somewhere in the open because Monkey is spotted, the Sims is in the smoke. So that kind of gives you a hint. And just watching where the Sim shells are coming from, well, Monkey puts a well-aimed shot, getting his Kraken and the kill, and then there was 1. And there can only be 1 Japanese destroyer left at the end of this one. You can see the Peds from the Kamikaze are fired down at the Colorado, kind of giving his position away a bit. And you combine that with when Monkey has and hasn't been detected, you can deduce where this Kamikaze is, and now he's getting close. Somewhere, I'd say probably 5.5 kilometers away right now. And there he is, 5.4. The Kamikaze is spotted, and, well, maybe a suicide run at the Kamikaze is in order. He's popped his smoke. He's going to hide the rest of this match. Now, Monkey has his torps and the reload. So, time for a wall of skill, perhaps? And this is where the Shiratsuyu can just be so enjoyable. That ability to just put an entire wall of torps. And if this Kamikaze actually goes dark, you know that's what's coming his way. But as long as he's spotted, use the guns, and wow, that was a good hit to finish it off.
And it's really great to see the effort matched the result. It is a victory, 1.36 million credits, 6,500 experience, Confederate Kraken, devastating strike, high caliber, 169,000 credits, 35 shells, 10 torps, got a bunch of floods and fires, and 6 kills, outdoing the Kraken that at one point looked like he may not be able to get it as things just kept dying. And what's interesting is Monkey didn't do what a lot of Shiratsuyus do, where they just launch 16 torpedoes all at once. He kind of broke them up. He was firing, 4 here, 4 there, and it worked perfectly. That 45-second spacing really playing into how the enemy ships were sailing out, and maybe they thought they were safe because, okay, something just got killed by torps, it's my time to go, only to sail out into some more torps. And that had to have felt great to be playing and just murdering the enemy team. The experience matching it, 2,100, just over it, top of team, those 6 kills, that's as much or just about as much as the rest of your team. And the damage, it was all to big ships. When you really think about where the bulk of his damage came from, it was all top tier battleships, and, well, the Miyoko as well. Then he finished off the Sims and Kamikaze R, making sure the other destroyers knew who was boss. And, you know, when you look at the kind of tertiary other damage, the fires did some work too, which is something that you don't always get. Same with the guns. Got a good chunk of damage just using high explosive. And too often, you know, Japanese destroyer captains just don't use their guns. The best way to play a destroyer is guns and torpedoes. Use them both, and if you use them in the right spots, the games just pay off. And end of day, after expensive, taking home just shy of 1.2 million credits, 6,500 experience, a little more for the captain, and a really enjoyable game to watch. So I hope everyone enjoyed it. If you did, please consider giving it a thumbs up or subscribing to the channel. Thank you very much for sending this one in, Monkey. And as always, I'm Qckslvrslash, and I'll have another one for you all later.